Hello everyone, it's Jess and I am finally back with another video. I have been sick for the longest time and I'm finally starting to feel better, so here I am. Today's video is going to be a book haul. It's going to include all of the books that I bought in the month of February. So without further ado, let's just get started. So the first book that I got was from Book Depository, and that is The City of Dreaming Books by Walter Morse. This book is about a character named Optimus Yarnspinner who inherits a manuscript by a mysterious author from his godfather when he passes away. He then ends up going to Book Home to try to figure out who the author of the book or of the manuscript is, and in the process gets like kidnapped or something and is trapped in the underside of Book Home and these catacombs filled with a bunch of like super rare books. He meets other people and lots of creatures and is just trying to escape from certain doom, basically. The main character is also a dinosaur, which is interesting. He's something called the Lindworm, and all the other characters are dinosaurs too, but they're like different kinds, so that's really weird. The book also has like pictures in it, pictures like that. There's little illustrations on just about every page, which is interesting, but I don't mind it. There's another one. But yeah, that's that book. I'm about halfway through. Hopefully I can finish it in the next couple of days. I'm probably going to read most of it today, actually, because it's my day off, and I'm so excited to see what happens in this book. It's definitely not something I usually go towards, but it's definitely caught my interest, so I'm interested to see what goes on with this. The next book that I have is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. This book follows a boy named Simon and his roommate Baz. Baz is a vampire and Simon is a chosen one. They both go to this like school of magic. I guess Simon has to fight some people and things don't really go as planned, and I don't really know that much about it. I've heard a lot of things about Rainbow Rowell, so I just wanted to pick something up from her, and this is the first one that I saw when I was at Barnes & Noble. But I bought this one from Book Depository because it was cheaper, obviously, because Barnes & Noble likes to charge up the ass. So I'm definitely interested to check this one out. I've heard a lot of really good things about Rainbow Rowell, and this book in particular. I also know there's a sequel to this, so I may check that one out as well if I happen to like this one. So there's that. The next book that I got is The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. This is about a girl, obviously named This is about a girl named Evelyn who is murdered at this party, and then this boy named Aiden is transported into like the subconsciouses of the other partygoers, and he has to relive the day over and over again until he is able to figure out what exactly happened to Evelyn and who her murderer is. And that's about all I know. I've heard a couple good things about this. It has some good reviews, so I'm interested to check this one out. And I'm probably going to say that about just about every book that I have, but I have no shame. The next book that I got is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I don't really know much about this book. I just remember a lot of booktubers talking about this author, and I wanted to get something from her. I'm just going to read the back to you so we can get a gist of what it's about. It says, Victor and Eli started out as college roommates, brilliant, arrogant, lonely boys who recognized the same ambition in each other, a shared interest in adrenaline, near-death experiences, and seemingly supernatural events reveals an intriguing possibility that under the right conditions someone could develop extraordinary abilities. But when their thesis moves from the academic to the experimental, things go horribly wrong. 10 years later, Victor breaks out of prison, determined to catch up to his old friend, now foe, aided by a young girl with a stunning ability. Meanwhile, Eli is on a mission to eradicate every other superpowered person that he can find, aside from his sidekick, an enigmatic woman with an unbreakable will. Armed with terrible power on both sides, driven by the memory of betrayal and loss, the arch-nemesis has set a course for revenge, but who will be left alive at the end? So this isn't usually my type of book. It isn't really much like the other books that I usually gravitate towards. I don't know how I feel about the whole supernatural, supervillain, magical, superpowered aspect of it, I guess. I was just interested in the author. I have one other book that I got from her that I'll be talking about a little later that I think I might like a little bit more, but I just thought I'd check it out, because why not? Alright, so the next book that I've got is The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X. Arpan. I've heard a couple really good things about this book. I know there's a couple booktubers who have recommended it. Basically, it follows a girl named Lee whose mother commits suicide and leaves a note saying, "I want you to remember." And Lee basically just wants to figure out what her mom meant by this note. She then travels to Taiwan to meet her maternal grandparents, basically relying on family and friends and loved ones to get through the grief and figure out what happened. I think she also learns a lot about her family's secrets. There's also something about like a bird, I guess. I think I've heard rumors that like her mom is the bird or her mom turns into a bird. I don't know. I don't know if there's like a magical element to this as well, but I think it's really interesting. I think I'll like it. Gail Foreman wrote a little blurb about it, and it says, magic and mourning, love and loss, secrets kept and secrets revealed, a heart-wrenching debut. So, I think I'll like it. I think it sounds pretty good. The next book that I got is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. I'm not really sure how to pronounce the name. I apologize if I'm saying a couple of these wrong. This book follows a witch named Louise and basically a witch hater named Reed. Louise flees her coven for some reason, I don't know, and then she meets Reed and they fall in love, I guess, and obviously their love is forbidden because why would a witch and a witch hunter be allowed to love each other? I don't know. It kind of sounds like a Romeo and Juliet type retelling, like forsaken love. These people aren't allowed to love each other, but they love each other anyways. I don't know. I just like what the cover looked like because it shimmers and the snake is really cool. I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of snakes on covers recently. There's also one on Ninth House and I really like that one. So maybe that's what drove me to this. I don't know. But I think it sounds good. The next book that I got is House of Salt and Sorrows by Aaron A. Craig. This book is a retelling of the Grimm's fairy tale 12 Dancing Princesses. I have no idea what that fairy tale is about. I have a book of Grimm's fairy tales, so I may check it out and read that so I can have an idea of what the retelling part is. But basically in here there are 12 sisters and they are dying in multiple mysterious ways, and the main sister, or not the main character, one of the sisters, Annalie, is having these visions that lead her to believe that these deaths are not accidents, and she is trying to figure out what's going on before it catches up to her next, basically. And that's all I know about it. This is another one where I think the cover looks really cool. It kind of has like a ocean-y vibe, so I'm wondering what the cover really means for the story, so that's interesting. But it's definitely a beautiful cover. It's like little, I don't know what these are, octopi and little designs on the inside. Look really cool. And there's a little etching of an octopus on the black cover. It's kind of hard to see right here. But yeah, there's that one. I think this one sounds pretty good. Alright, and like I said earlier, I have one other book that I got from B.E. Schwab, and that is The Near Witch. This one is like a children's fairy tale come to life, like a story you would read to your children during bedtime to make sure they stayed in bed and didn't try to get up. I don't know. But there are children that are disappearing, and this girl, the main character, meets a boy who seems to like appear out of nowhere. I get the sense that it's maybe some type of ghost story. My prediction maybe is that the boy is like a former victim who's trying to help her figure out what's going on. I don't know, or maybe he's involved in some way and is really taking the kids. I guess I'll find out. This might be my next read. I think it sounds really good. So we'll see. You're staring at me. You're creepy. The next book I got is The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. I honestly don't know anything about this book besides the fact that it takes place at some motel in New York. Someone goes missing in 1987, and then like a family member comes or goes to the hotel to try to figure out what really happened. Honestly, the cover just reminded me of Bates Motel, and I'm a really big Bates Motel fan, so that's honestly the only reason I picked it up. It's a pretty blue cover on the inside. I really like that. But it's like a ghost story, maybe. I don't know, but it sounds really good. I'm definitely interested in what this one's about. I get a Bates Motel vibe. Maybe it's something like that, or maybe it's a ghost story. Who knows? But either way, I think it'll be good. The next book that I got is The Haunting of Ashbourne House by Darcy Coates. This one follows a girl named Adrian who is basically desperate for a place to live, and she inherits this Ashbourne house. Her and everyone in this town know that there's something that's wrong with this house. There's rumors of and ghost stories about it, but because she's desperate, she moves in anyways, and comes to find out that these rumors are actually true. So it's basically just a cliche haunted house ghost story. I walked past it a couple times in Barnes & Noble, and I finally just decided to pick it up because these types of stories really intrigue me. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it. I think it'll be really good. I think I read like the first couple pages while I was looking at it, and it's definitely something that I can see myself really enjoying. So we'll see what I think of this one. Next up, I have Mr. Be Gone by Clive Barker. I know absolutely nothing about this book. I don't know anything about this author. I don't know what else he's written. All I know is that it's like this life story of a demon from Dante's Inferno named Jacobach. It's like told from this demon's perspective, and it's kind of like one of those books that tells you to like turn back, don't read this book, what are you doing, you have to stop. I don't know, these types of books really intrigue me. City of Dreaming books also starts out that way, and a book that I'm going to talk about next starts out this way as well, so maybe that's the aspect that I'm interested in. But I don't know, I think it sounds spooky, and I like spooky things, and the cover, or not the cover, the pages are kind of like worn down looking, so it looks like it's an older book. But yeah, I think it sounds decent. There are some mixed reviews that I've seen. Some people didn't enjoy it, but I don't know. I guess we will have to wait and see. The next book that I got is a sequel to a book that I read when I was younger, and that book is, if you're reading this, it's too late. The book that I read when I was in middle school is, the name of this book is Secret, I think. Yes, it follows characters, Cass and Max Ernest. They're like child detectives. They meet people. I don't really remember much about what goes on. I just remember really enjoying the first one, and then I found out that it's a series, while nostalgically wandering the children's section at Barnes & Noble, so I just had to pick it up. It was only $8, so honestly, that's enough to buy it in my opinion. I really loved the characters, I love the story, I like how the author writes, and this one he labels the chapters backwards. He calls it like a countdown of a bomb, so maybe he wouldn't have to finish it because the book would explode at the end. I don't know, but I think it sounds really good, and they're super cute, and yeah. Oh, and the author of those series, they are anonymous. I don't know if their identity has been figured out yet. It probably has, considering it's been multiple years since the series came out, but I have no idea who it is. Their name on the cover is pseudonymous, so yeah, that's all I know. Next up, I have The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides? Is that how you say that? I have no idea. Anyways, this one is about a girl named Alicia Berenson who seems to have the perfect married life. She has a good job, her husband has a good job, her husband's a good man. And then one evening her husband comes back from work and she shoots him in the face 5 times and then stops speaking. She goes completely mute. Nobody has any idea what happened that night. It's become a public mystery. Everyone knows about it. This psychotherapist Theo comes into the story, and he's trying to figure out if he can get Alicia to talk and figure out what happened. This one is also another one that has some mixed reviews, but I think I'll like it. I'm really interested in like psychological thrillers, so I am interested to see how this one turns out. The next book that I got was Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. I know this is the author of The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I don't really know much about that book. I think it's a romance, but it's really interesting that someone who wrote a romance could go from that to writing this thriller. The only thing I know about this book is that it's about a little boy and a single mom who go to this new town, and the boy ends up disappearing into the woods for 6 days before coming out completely unharmed, and the only thing is that he's hearing this voice. So it sounds like some type of ghost story. I don't really know anything else about it. It's definitely huge, and I think I might actually read this one next. So it's between this one or The Near Witch. You guys should leave a comment down below about which one you guys think I should read next. But this one is definitely getting my attention. I don't really know why, because I don't know anything about it, but it sounds really good. And that's all I have to say about that one, to be honest. My next book is The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. This book is set in 19th century New Orleans. There are some murders going on, a possible serial killer, and the main character, Celine, is basically the next on the serial killer's hit list. I don't really know anything else about what happens. I've heard some other booktubers talking about it having vampires and them not like coming in until the very end, and that's one of the reasons why some of these other people haven't enjoyed it. But I'm not really a big fan of like vampire aspects in novels, so I think I'll like it a little more than some people might have. But regardless, it sounds like a really interesting read, and I'm definitely intrigued, and I am hoping that my opinion differs from other people's because it sounds really good to me. And last but not least, we have Bloodleaf by Crystal Smith. This is another one where I don't really know anything about it. Jesse from Jesse the Reader did a video of him reading this book, and I don't know, I don't remember if he liked it. I don't remember what he said in this vlog, but I just thought the cover was really pretty, and I ended up seeing it at Barnes & Noble. I remembered him talking about it, so I wanted to pick it up. It's some type of like political fantasy. This princess can do magic that is like forbidden in her country or whatever, and then she disguises herself as a commoner to escape. Obviously that doesn't really work out very well. I'm sure there's things that get in the way of her true happiness or something. I don't know. But that is all I know about this one. It was just the cover that really interested me. It's like this pretty little purple color, purplish blue, and it shimmers. I think the inside is like a bluish purple too, which is really cool. It's like one of my favorite colors. So yeah. And that was the last book that I got. So that is all I have for you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos by me. Also leave a comment down below about some ideas that you might have for videos that you think you would like to watch. Anything from videos that you like watching from other booktubers, or maybe video ideas that you haven't seen yet that you would like to see. But that is all for me, so I guess I will see you guys next time. Bye!